All right, so here we are again at the 2022 NHRA Gator Nationals, and Bobby Fazio here is stepping out of his element. Okay, I'm not interviewing a stock or super stock drag race car right now. I'm doing a pro stock motorcycle.
He's come over to the dark side.
Mr. Flyin Ryan. Ryan, what's your last name?
It's Ryan Oehler.
Oehler. Well, you're going to have to tell us how I spell it now.
Well, it's O-E-H-L-E-R. That's why we got into this Flyin Ryan thing, you know. I mean, when you got a last name like that, that's going to get butchered by everybody for, you know, my entire 37 years of existence. I said, let's do something a little bit more mainstream. Let's go in with, my buddy's name was Flying Taco, and we're sitting with him one day. I said, I'm taking your name, man. So, Flyin Ryan it is.
Excellent. That's funny. So tell us a little bit about this pro stock bike. You drive a Buell.
Yep.
Now, can you tell us about how they classify the Buells versus the Suzukis versus the Harleys?
Sure. So the Buells and the Harleys all fall under American V-twin. So we're a V-twin, 160 cubic inches, naturally aspirated. These engines, biggest bore on the property, we're just over 5 1/8 inch bore, and you know, the difference between it and the Suzuki obviously is a V-twin versus an inline 4. So there's, you know, the Suzukis are a smaller motor, but they make more horsepower per cubic inch. And to keep everything fair, they work with the displacement and the weight to try to keep the bikes, you know, side by side as much as possible.
Okay, and did you tell us the cubic inch maximum on all the bikes?
So the Suzukis are 113 cubic inch, and the V-twins are 160 cubic inches.
Okay, and then a minimum weight requirement. You guys have that?
V-twins 640 pounds, bike and rider, and the Suzukis are 625 or 620.
Okay, so you have to weigh more than...
We weigh a little bit, but the motors are really heavy on the Buells. The one bike we have, as light as we can get it, bike and rider, me being 145 pounds, is 650 pounds. So I'm 10 pounds over just because of the nature, the motor itself is so heavy.
Okay. Is there any difference between the Buells and the Harleys?
Well, yes. Formerly the Vance and Hines Harley Davidson team, which now they rebranded that to VH 160s. They're still 160 cubic inches, but since no one in existence has ever had their hands on one except for Vance and Hines themselves, I couldn't tell you what its bore and stroke combination is. I'm sure it's roughly the same, but it's one of those things that was kind of kept private, which made a lot of drama in the class because everyone felt like it should be available amongst everybody. And so there's still that indifference because it still has yet to been seen or touched by anybody other than Vance and Hines. Now Vance and Hines is trying to refocus their program into a Suzuki program, and they do supply the engines for about 90% of the bikes that are Suzukis on the property through a lease or some type of program that they work out. So we're one of the few teams, we build our own engines. We do everything in-house. So my father's an engine builder from the pro stock car era, and got into a business in the 80s and 70s with motorcycles, and we took over the all gas Harley class racing back in the 80s and 90s. Got back into it in the 2010 and started building a Pro Mod Harley, which is a little brother to this, and we currently still have the national record in that class and won every race but one the last year we ran in 2016. So we took it as a stair-step approach to get here, and it was a good training exercise for us because of the weight per cubic inch was very similar. My V-twin was 113 cubic inches, made about 300 horse, 160 cubic inches, about 400 horse. So it was a real good transition for us.
Wow, okay, really cool. So the Buell, the Harley, the average pro stock motorcycle makes about 400 horsepower?
Yeah, at the crankshaft.
Okay, excellent. So it's just, they're so light that's how they can speed down the quarter mile at 6.8 seconds or 6.9?
So the record's 672.
Wow.
I think the mile an hour record's 203 or 4 or something in that ballpark. And today here with 500 feet of air and a good sized tailwind, minus whatever's written in the rule book as far as a tailwind record type of challenge, you're going to see record times.
Wow. Now let's talk about the back tire. Is there a specific tire you guys have to run?
There is not a lot of options, so Mickey Thompson provides this tire, and this is really the only compound that's available is this current compound for this 16 by 10, so 10-inch wide, 16-inch rim. And everybody pretty much uses that same tire, and I'm sure that there's a lot of secrets amongst the teams as far as what they do with the tires. A lot of people come up to us, do you prep the tires? We have our own prep that we do, which is more of a break-in. Some teams dry their tires, they age them, and they're trying to get you know, the drier tire so that they can actually get wheel speed on the line. It's important for pro stock car and pro stock bikes to actually get some wheel speed, and it's all part of your tuning aspect of your clutch and your, you know, your 60 foot.
Wow, very interesting. Thank you very much for sharing all this with us. I just want to take a little look at your cockpit up here, if we will. So we got a shift light in the center there.
Yeah, air
safety
shifter.
switches.
We try to keep it pretty minimal, you know, less distraction. Oil pressure is important, your shift light's important, and your air shifter. Everything else, you know, that's all you need to know.
Excellent, very cool. We see that you're sponsored by Vita-C Energy. They
Yep.
also sponsor Stock Eliminator cars. Steve Foley has their name on the side of his car.
Very fortunate to have them come on board with us this season. We've been out here working as pretty much a privateer, self-funded team since we've been out here in 2017. And now, as we've won some races, we got 2 Wallies under our belt. We've been very competitive. Last year we were runner-up here in the finals against Matt Smith. And everyone is trying to get behind the little guy, which I definitely am. And we're very, very fortunate to have them on our side, as well as NGK, Worldwide Bearings, High Performance Lubricants, NutSense, and Tampa Bay Race Rentals, which is something that we actually put together just last year. So 1 year ago, today almost, the conception of the business has been put together and been on the ground. So it's a drag race rental company down in Clearwater, Florida, where we actually rent out these Mustangs to anybody who wants to get behind the wheel and feel the rush of going down the track in a drag racing experience.
Wow, super cool. Do they have a website then?
Oh yeah, TampaBayRaceRentals.com.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Flyin Ryan, for taking some time with us. Everybody likes a winner, Ryan.
That's right.
Everybody loves the underdog.
That's right.
If you do both, you're the man.
You're a hero, right? Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.